Hey guys, it's the BottleHouse guys here, coming to you from BottleHouse at 608 West Main Street in Charlottesville, Virginia, doing our first ClubHouse video.
How's it going?
Welcome to all of our ClubHouse members, potential members, anybody watching this video, anybody who's been to our store knows what we're all about. A little bit about us, three longtime wine professionals. We've been in the industry for years and years and years. In restaurants and on the distribution side. Louis Cornet, let's start with you. What's your background in wine?
Got into the industry in '82 when I was 18 years old, fresh out of high school, working in New Orleans. A friend of mine owned a wine shop, needed a job. He put me to work. First wine I ever had that I loved was 1976 Pouilly Montrachet La Flaudière, which set me on the road to ruin as it was. I have a profound amount of experience tasting some of the best wines in the world thanks to the Claret Club in New Orleans. Kind of a hedonist in the business, getting old, not such a hedonist anymore, so just enjoying life and working here at the BottleHouse.
Cheers to you, Louis.
Guillaume Gasparini, a restaurant veteran.
A restaurant veteran. Got tired of the restaurant world, as I think most restaurant people understand. And this was a lifelong goal to open up a wine shop, basically, with some friends of mine and colleagues, and that's what we've done. And
certified sommelier,
certified 2008, and haven't looked back.
Oh, you're certified, all right. There's no doubt about that.
That is true.
Daniel Kaufman, I am a industry veteran in that I am still a restaurant owner. But also very happy to be involved in the retail side of things. In fact, I met Louis when he was my rep selling for Winebow back in the day. I tasted wine with you and Guillaume as well.
Yep. Tasted your first Grand Cru Burgundy with me, if I'm not mistaken.
I think I did. I think it was an off vintage. It was a what the hell was it?
It was
a Chambertin. It was one of the Chambertins.
It was because we had the one on the shelf from.
Louis brings good wines. That's the point. I think the point of this. Louis always brought good wines around. I'm very happy to know. I'm really happy to be working with you guys.
As am I.
Me too.
I too am certified as a Court of Master Sommeliers. I've been in the restaurant industry for years and years and years on the private club side, on the public restaurant side. I'm currently a restaurant owner as well, in addition to being a partial owner of BottleHouse with these awesome gentlemen. But the one thing that brings us together, the reason we're telling you this, is we want you to be able to trust us when it comes to buying your wine, whether or not in person, whether or not here in the store, online. We're shipping to everywhere in the country. We want you to trust. We know a thing or two. We're happy to walk you through your wine purchase. To me, wine is something to be enjoyed, not something to be trivial. And I know it can be a trivial thing. I think you guys would agree, and I think it takes somebody who's been around this stuff for a number of years to point you in the right direction.
More than trivial, I think so often people in our industry make it more complicated than it needs to be,
Totally
more intimidating than it needs to be. And I think what we're about is making you feel good about the bottle of wine you walk home with. We are not wine snobs in the least, though we all have very strong palates. I want you to feel good about the $10 bottle you buy or the $3,000 bottle
Absolutely.
you buy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
you can't be wrong.
We've got both here.
Too subjective for that, and we want you to enjoy wine for what it is, and that's really awesome crushed grapes.
But today we're talking about our inaugural ClubHouse lineup. And what we do, we taste hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of wines throughout the year. And it is what we've done is we've curated a selection of wines for our wine club members, 6 wines every month that can be drunk any night of the week, really. These are wines that over-deliver stuff that maybe you wouldn't have picked up off the shelf yourself. Wines that we feel are interesting, but just kick-ass wines. We want kick-ass wines in front of you. That's our job, is to put kick-ass wines in front of you.
Yep.
And we're really proud of what we put together, I think. And I think our members, just getting started, but our members have enjoyed what we've done so far. But what else comes with membership? I mean, we're doing 6 wines every month. We're taking all this time to come up with these wines. What else are we including with this membership to the ClubHouse?
Well, you get 10% off everything in-house, from groceries to wine, beer, our canned seafood section, which is excellent, vermouths, bitters,
cocktail accessories. I mean, we've got it all.
You get 10%
and you're going to get 10% off the first thing you buy.
Everything.
No quantity required.
None.
In addition, we're going to do a full tasting sheet for every wine, a video every month walking you through the wines. You're going to be invited to a tasting the first Thursday of every month, where we're going to open a bottle of these. You'll have your chance to taste these wines. Some of these wines maybe you want to sit on for a couple of years before you delve into. Some of them will definitely be age-worthy, but it'll give you the opportunity to try them out now, see where they are.
And discuss the merits of them with us. We're three of us are going to be here talking to you about the wines, so we can chat about them, like or dislike. I don't think you're going to dislike any of them, quite frankly. As he said, we taste hundreds of wines a month, and of that we might buy 20 or 30. We try to buy the wines that the three of us are just all like, oh my God, that's outstanding.
Yeah.
Kick ass.
Motherfucker good wines. That's what we try to buy for you. The wines that make us go, motherfucker, that is good. And that's what we bring in. And then this is a selection of the best of that. So you're really getting the cream of the crop in terms of value, in terms of quality, that we feel we can put together on a monthly basis.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. You want to get started and talk about our first wine?
Let's do it.
I'm going to drink some wine.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Who first? All right, this comes to us from our friend Emilio. Who met Emilio first? Where did this guy come from?
Emilio was a restaurant owner in Richmond. You may have heard of it, Emilio's. And he came in one day. We chatted it up, being a restaurant veteran myself. We talked about the perils of owning restaurants and the oftentimes lack of work-life balance. And he decided he had enough, and he had a passion for wine as well. And so he went to Spain, Valencia, where he's originally from, made his way down to Rioja, and he over to Rioja, and he found these wonderful wines.
Emilio Piero, yeah?
Emilio Piero, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, he came in with that young man. Because when you told me about it, it was like, this kid came in from Richmond with this Rioja. I was very unexcited about the tasting, to be honest with you.
Sure.
Because you were just like, this kid Rioja, sure, we're going to give him a chance.
Yeah, and sure enough, they showed up with the wines, and
outstanding.
Pretty awesome,
knocked us off our socks.
Yeah.
They're really, really well priced. Just really well made wines.
So he's importing these wines directly.
Correct.
And as I understand it, he's given us exclusivity on the retail side of these wines. I think some restaurants are buying them. I'm buying them from one of my restaurants.
Here in Charlottesville.
Here in Charlottesville, Virginia, yeah. So the first wine, the label is Optum, and he does this label for his Ruedas as well as his Riojas. This is his own private label. Serious juice going in here. So 100% Verdejo. One of the classic wine growing regions of Spain. Really killer juice here. There's no oak in play here, so there's a real purity of fruit with this wine. What are you guys getting on the nose?
Screaming green apple and pear, absolutely.
Just get lots of big fruit, really ripe, good balance. I find Verdejo to be really just kind of racy and sexy. I like the bright, vibrant fruit in there.
Yeah,
it's a good explanation as well. This is a wine that I think the fruit is doing all the talking, not the winemaker's hand. There's a real purity here. It's done all in stainless steel, yeah?
Yep.
No oak at play, influencing
definitely a little bit of some herbaceousness and some white flowers here on the end of this fruit here.
Yeah, absolutely.
When Guillaume and I first tasted it, Emilio just literally pulled them out of a container. They had gone through ship shock, so when you ship wines across the ocean, they get a little incongruent, a little disjointed, and we could tell the quality was in there, but they weren't quite right. And now I think
they're right.
They've recovered nicely.
Absolutely.
For the beautiful bottle of wine,
absolutely,
and for the price, it's even more beautiful. That's the thing I love about Emilio's wines, is it should be twice what we're selling them
absolutely.
for.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you get a great wine and you get a fantastic value.
And we're just getting started here as well. A really beautiful bottle of wine to start the first month's selection here. What are we moving on to next?
One of my little favorites.
Guillaume discovered this wine.
Oh, let me get that there. There you go.
What grape are we talking about?
We are talking about Colorado.
Back up. What's the entire name of this wine?
The entire name of this wine is Castellucciano Bianco. It is, like I said, 100% Colorado.
Castellucciano Chiaro Bianco Faladolmo Contea di Scafani from Sicily.
There you go.
How do they do?
I think you did pretty good. Contea di Scafani is the DOC here in Sicily. This is the most widely planted grape in Sicily.
Colorado, I believe it is, yeah.
Originally used for mass production of Marsala. Then they found that they can make a really beautiful still wine out of this. with a little bit of help from the winemakers.
I think these are old vines, aren't they?
These are old vines. These are 30 to 40-year-old vines at about 900 to 1,000 meters in elevation.
This is my first Colorado.
This is Louis' first Colorado.
First Colorado, and I love it.
You know what, though? The funny thing is, it's probably not. It's probably the one that you've known as a first Colorado, but there are a lot of Sicilian wines, I believe, Sicilian whites that use this as a blending grape and maybe even a predominant
And I might not have
So you
known
might
that.
not have known you're drinking it. And even
Absolutely.
Marsala, I
Well,
don't know why you know this.
For this specific appellation, 95% is the minimum you can use, and you have to have at least that 95%.
Does this have wood? Are you guys picking up smoky oak on this, or is it just me?
There will be oak treatment on this one. I don't think that. No, this has no. This is all done in stainless steel. But I understand what you're saying, and that could be a result of maybe a little lees aging, perhaps.
Spicy. There's a spiciness
There
to it.
definitely
that
is.
It's something I get from oak.
That could be indicative of the grape itself, though, rather than a production method. But I think it's a really interesting wine, and there's definitely more going on here than just being a bulk wine with bulk winemaking grape would
Absolutely.
allow. I think there's a lot of tropical things going on too.
Lots of pineapple.
Pineapple. That's what I was
Oh,
listening to
yeah.
in the back in a big way. Super ripe pineapple. Bright acidity in the front.
Yep.
And just big pineapple all the way in the back.
Absolutely. This wine generally on the shelf is like $25. I think for $25, I'm drinking this wine all day long. I love it. Again, probably not something the average consumer is going to pick them off the shelf, but once you taste this, I think you're buying a bottle. I think it's absolutely delicious.
Yeah, it's got a little racing
And
acidity in the back.
to your point that the average person isn't going to pick this up, part of what we do with our wine club is try to introduce you to wines that you might not experience on your own. We try to find things that really stand out for
Yeah.
what they are.
This wine
And
really stands out.
I
Good job
agree.
on finding this one,
I
by the way. I
agree.
think it's a beautiful bottle of wine. I'm glad,
delicious.
I'm glad this was introduced to us. Shall we move on to our first red?
Let's do it.
Let's move on to our first red. Kind of a classic here as well.
Yeah. All right.
From Santa Barbara,
Bring it a
the
little
classic.
closer so you can see it.
Au Bon
There we
Clément,
go.
Santa Barbara County Pinot Noir. Our Jim Clendenden, famous winemaker.
rinse. Just a little to get that.
A little rinse first.
God, that pineapple is just hanging.
It really
in
is,
my
isn't
mouth.
it? Yeah. This is our rinse, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Cheers.
Au Bon Clément from Santa Barbara. Daniel and I did a quick short video on the Chardonnay the other day. We were so blown away by the quality of these wines and the price that we felt we had to put it in our wine club for November. It's a great wine for Thanksgiving. I mean, we did a turkey wine thing on our Morgon recently
Yeah.
too. Just excellent Pinot Noir, and made Pinot Noir in a way that I grew up drinking Pinot Noir. It's not this.
Whole cluster.
Whole
Louis
cluster.
loves whole cluster press.
With contention for a lot of us.
Don't get me started.
No, let's get you started. I
Let's
love
get
this
you started.
conversation.
So tell me a little bit. Well, tell me about this classic style Pinot, Louis.
It's more elegant. The body isn't, so in my assessment, people are making Pinot Noirs that are darker in color, denser in the mouth, bigger and just darker.
What we call the Meiomi effect.
the
The
Meiomi
Naomi
effect.
effect, which we don't like.
Clendenden he was trying to make Burgundy when he started this thing. He was a Burgundy fan. He was trying to make a
Started in
Burgundian
Burgundy
style.
and in Champagne, as I understand.
And he's still doing it.
Kind of a wine that's fallen off. I mean, this was a popular wine for a good while there. I mean, this is kind of one of the guys who put Santa Barbara on the map even
Yep.
before Sideways. This really introduced people to the
Yeah.
wines of the region.
I was thinking about that. Were these wines in Sideways?
I don't think Au Bon Clément was. But
No?
they didn't know. No.
Because Sanford was, and a lot of the big names were in Sideways.
Sure.
Some of them were sort
Such a
of
lovely
false
little wine.
names as
I love
well.
this wine.
But I really love this wine a lot, and I think the world lost Jim Clendenden this last year. I think
Sadly,
in
we
April
lost
last-
him
yeah.
this past May.
Yeah.
But I think the torch is being carried on. This is a beautiful bottle of wine, and I think this wine is better than the first vintage I ever had of this particular wine. I think
So reading up on the winery, because we were researching this in terms of how the winery is going to continue. He's had a winemaking team in place for some time, so he's been overseeing the winery, but has people making wines with his input and specification.
Yeah.
So
It's got a nice
Au
little
Bon
smokiness
Clément's not
to it
going
too.
anywhere.
Beautiful minerality on it.
I've got I've finished all mine.
Yeah, 'cause I don't blame you.
This
It's
is
really
this
good.
is a fruit cocktail of cranberry and strawberry and raspberry and like every red fruit I can think of.
Yeah. With that, just
but-
a touch of smoke on that end with that nice
Yeah.
bright minerality.
There's something else there. It's almost
The
like
smokiness.
I almost kind of want to say like a little candied quality, but not in the way some of these modern Pinot Noirs
Not in a
are
sweet
styled.
way.
No, almost like if I've been sucking on a strawberry lifesaver for a long time, and I spit it out, and like 5 minutes later, that little bit of candy taste that's left here. That's kind of what I'm getting from this.
Yeah, I can
it's
see that.
really
Absolutely.
delicious. This wine's $26 on the shelf all day long. It's a no-brainer for me. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful bottle of wine. Forget that me stuff. This mass-produced garbage. These formula wines that have no soul. This is the kind of Pinot I think anybody would be happy with.
Yeah.
And it's got soul, man. I think it's got soul.
I agree fully.
Awesome.
This was one of those ones that all three of us stepped back and went, God damn, that's good.
Yeah.
And that's why they're in the store.
Cool.
Let's move on.
We're moving on.
Back to the old world.
All right, back to old world. Italy again. I'm going to try to find that sweet spot right there. Lodali, Barolo.
I have to tell you, I love Barolo.
Yeah, I do. I do
really
too.
love Barolo.
Brico Ambrogio is a single vineyard that is owned by the Lodali family. They are the only ones making this.
And I was reading up, they've been around since, I want to say, 1930s making wine as a family.
That's right.
A long time, although it's kind of a baby in Piemonte years. But they
But
put
as
some
they say,
really good-
Barolo, the king of wine.
And the Wine of
Kings.
Kings.
Yes. So traditionally, Barolo is a wine meant to be laid down for a long time, at least classically. These are wines that you generally didn't want to drink before their 10th birthday because they're such a strong, ripe tannic structure. They're almost
Yes.
undrinkable. But Lodali is kind of like in the middle of the road as far as the bridging the gap between modern style and classic style, where you have big, bright fruit backed up by pretty solid tannins. But this is in no way a wine I need to sit on for a while. I think this wine's going to get better in bottle.
Absolutely.
I think it's awesome now.
We
I
just
think
pulled
you
the
could-
cork on it. It's fantastic.
Oh my goodness! You put this in a decanter for 30 minutes, and you are really getting yourself a super nice treat.
We're only on the 4th year past harvest, and this is the 2017 vintage. I'd be happy to drink this now, but I'd also be happy to sit this down for another 10 years, and it's probably going to get better.
Wow.
Classic Barolo notes, that really bright cherry, little tobacco leaf.
I love the color as well. That
Little
sort
rose
of
petal on it,
that
too. Yeah.
brick red color, so indicative of the varietal.
To me, it's always like minerality and almost like stone with that fruit. And they can be too acidic and too dense sometimes.
I've got a stone in my mouth right now. It really feels like I got a
Yeah,
pebble
yeah,
out,
yeah,
but,
no
in,
doubt.
but in a nice way.
Yeah.
Yep.
In a really nice way. 18 months this wine spends in Slavonian oak. I think bigger barrels, big casks are what I play. We're not talking about barrique here. There's a lot of, I got tobacco, I've got cranberry, I've got
Very
dried
expressive
flowers.
for such
I've
a
got-
young Barolo too. And I think this is indicative of this smaller
Maybe a
parcel
little
that
more of this one.
they're sourcing from.
I gotta taste this one again.
And then it finishes with just, to me, cherry. I just keep getting cherry and cherry and cherry in the back. It just hangs out there.
But most importantly, it's not tannin, like a lot of young Barolo can sometimes break forth. I don't feel like my mouth is completely dry. I don't feel like like my cheeks are being tanned, so to speak.
Coming from France, I got into Italy kind of late in my wine life and always understood Barolos to be these huge, thick, tannic monsters that you had to sit on for 50 years. And was amazed. It was a Burgundy Barolo that I had in New Jersey for the first time that I was like, man, these are like Burgundy. They're elegant and refined.
I think Burgundy's a good.
With higher tannins, basically. I mean, they
I wouldn't
definitely
even say higher tannins. I'd say a little sharper acidity.
Yeah, that's true too. I
Not
can
so
agree
much
with that.
a
tannin.
little more tertiary notes as well. I'm getting more soil, more mushrooms, more tobacco. Lots of tobacco leaf. I haven't had a cigarette in 8 years, but I feel like I just want a cigarette sometimes. But in a pleasant way.
I'd say more pipe tobacco than cigarette than anything. Fresh pipe tobacco.
But elegance, before I got into Barolos and started to learn them, elegance was not an adjective I would have used or understood Barolos that you would apply to Barolo.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I mean, I thought they were just these big, dark, dense wines that they would leave in cask until you ordered them, and then they would pull them out of cask and bottle them, so they were God knows how long.
This has a lot of finesse to it, doesn't it?
Beautiful,
Yeah.
elegant,
Fantastic.
man.
I would enjoy this tonight. I would also enjoy this 10 years from now.
Truffles. I want this with truffles. Something that's just covered in truffles. You know, here's my credit card. Put truffles all over my food.
Oh, nice. Perfect little
Black
risotto.
truffles are out, right? And they're from this part of the world, right?
Absolutely.
All right, let's
Absolutely.
move on.
One of your favorite regions of the world here, in many ways, all of I've never been to Bordeaux, to be honest with you, but
I have.
Guillaume has been to Bordeaux. Guillaume is the true Frenchman amongst the three of us. We're just frauds. But moi français, c'est la merde.
C'est pas si mauvais que ça, mon ami.
Merci.
Second growth Bordeaux, second label of a second growth Bordeaux.
Yes.
So, Chateau 1855. Chateau Rouzon was classified as a second growth, and somewhere along the lines, something happened, and Chateau Rouzon was split into two different wineries. It turned into Rouzon Gassis. It turned into Rouzon Segla. Rouzon Gassis is the often overlooked. It's still recording. Don't worry about it. The often overlooked.
So you say
of the
Rouzon?
two.
I wish that was Rouzon Gassis and Rouzon Segla.
Well, I don't know. I think
That's the Brits. Well, so I got into this business from a guy who was an Anglophile.
Sure.
And so it was Petrus. It wasn't Petrus.
No, Petrus.
Yeah.
Well, potato. Beautiful wine.
Gassis.
So it's a Margaux property. It's
It's a Margaux property, but originally, but this one is in the Médoc.
I believe the
appellation.
vineyards are just lie outside of the Margaux appellation
For
this particular
this
wine.
program.
That's correct.
Thus allowing it to be called Haut Médoc and not the more, I guess, well-known Margaux appellation.
Recognized, possibly.
We discovered that I think we first tried this wine based on a silly score we saw that it was got.
It's got a monster score from Decanter.
Decanter gave this wine like 97 points, which is
97 points.
unheard of. We're not score whores by any means. Sometimes a high score on a wine will make you take notice, and that's what happened here. Decanter was just raving about this wine.
Wait till you see this in the glass. I mean, it is a deep purple color.
It really is.
I mean, there is just the most beautiful purple color on this.
But it's not showing the grip. When we first tasted it, it
No,
was much tighter.
It's
really opened up. I mean, it's got some density to it.
Yeah, I highly recommend.
Cold, isn't it?
Yeah, I highly recommend this decanted for a good half hour, just to really give you the full pleasure of this wine.
I think this wine's very age-worthy as well.
I do too. I think you could lay this one absolutely
5-10 years from now. I think it's gonna be awesome. But I like it right now as well. But I agree with you. I think this is a wine that should be decanted for a little while just to really show you everything that it's got. Mm-hmm. But even we've had this bottle open for how long? Maybe about
a half hour, 45 minutes now.
Not very long.
No,
but
it's really showing some really nice fruit though. Actually,
it's talking to me.
Yeah.
Red currant thing going on here.
And the second
dusty
label
cans.
thing, the Bordeaux's have gotten so expensive that chateaus are breaking out the pieces that aren't of high enough caliber to go into the regular bottling, and they're selling these. And there was a time when you got second label from Lafitte Carawad for $50. That's $500 a bottle now.
Is that how you say that?
Carawad. That's the
I
way I was
never knew
pronouncing
how to
it.
say that.
Carawad. Yeah. It's from an Anglophile. I mean, my original wine mentor.
This is
had
why
a
we keep
picture.
moving around.
He had a picture of Winston Churchill on his wall with a picture where the guy ripped the cigar out of his mouth, and Churchill gave him a dirty look. So Rick was all about English and English wine business.
I love it.
In English all the way. So
I love it. This wine, the left bank of the Gironde River is generally an area known for growing up Cabernet Sauvignon, and Cabernet Sauvignon dominated whites. However, in Margaux, you tend to get they tend to favor Merlot more so than other left bank communes, and that's what we have here at play. I think this wine is about 65% Merlot, about 35% Cabernet Sauvignon, which is a little unusual for left bank wine, but I think it does well. I think I think
this is a really smoking wine.
Very much so.
And I think this is very classic Bordeaux, in my opinion. Right in the middle. I mean, it doesn't have all the modernization that you see in some of the smaller chateaus these days.
No, this ain't Napa.
This ain't Napa. No.
This
definitely is not. This is rocking.
I love it.
I can't wait for you guys to try
and
this.
Frontline, $28 on our shelf.
I think it's right about $27.99.
$27.99, and the way the wine club deal works is you're essentially getting 15% off on the collection. So you're getting a deal on the wines. Our standard discount is 10% off on 6. So you're getting a bit better than that. If you decide to buy more, you'll get 20% off 12. So you can still take advantage.
But you always get 10% off.
So this is a good wine. If you like this wine, this is a good wine to buy a few more.
Yeah, this is
taste it every couple of years because this wine's only going to get better.
Yeah.
But if you want to drink it now, I say open it, decant it, give it an hour in the decanter. It's going to be beautiful. Set it down for 5 years. It's going to be beautiful. Set it down for 10 years. It's going to be stunning, I think.
Piece of steak with some blue cheese and demi-glace, and you are in culinary heaven.
I'm happy with it. Let's move on, guys.
Awesome.
Our last wine, we mentioned Napa a second ago. We're actually going to do a Napa wine. This comes to us from Nyers. And this, we mentioned the left bank a moment ago. This is the left bank red.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you to the lights a little bit on here. We're figuring this out. But you know what? This is our first one, so we're just rolling.
Nyers homage to the left bank of Bordeaux.
Yes.
We were just discussing.
At the back of Nyers property, you will find Con Creek. It's about 500 yards worth of Con Creek that goes through this. And
the creek itself?
The creek itself. Yeah, no, the creek goes through the winery. And because of that, over the years, this creek has deposited gravel, which you will find on the left bank and the Gironde. And that is why they decided originally to plant Merlot there to emulate the Gironde.
This is why we keep Guillaume around.
And so, after that, they decided to plant Cabernet years later. I believe 94 was their first vintage. Could be 92.
Yeah.
I apologize if I screwed that one up. But that was the basis behind this left bank blend after they, years after a couple of their first vintages.
So this is Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot.
Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot. I believe it's a 50-50 blend. No, I believe it's actually a little bit heavier on the cab. Yeah, I think it's a little bit heavier on the cab side. But I think they did an excellent job at showing you.
Definitely more oak at play here.
Yeah, there's definitely more oak. But this
spice notes, nutmeg.
If I hadn't known what was in it, I would have said there's some Cab Franc in here because I'm getting that Mercaptan.
Yeah, and there could very well be.
A little hint. Yeah,
there could very well be some, and good on you for picking that out.
Was it me or y'all getting it too?
No, I think you're right. I think that could be present in
yeah.
Cabernet Sauvignon as well. You can sometimes get those green notes, but it's definitely more profound in Cab Franc, and there could very well be some at play here.
It's not offensive to me, but it's definitely showing.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely some vanilla going on here, some black currant. This is darker fruit than the last one we tasted.
Yeah, more dark kind of black plums.
And
some currant in here.
Wow. It must be really cold in here. This wine is really cold.
Well, we keep everything temperature controlled in here. I mean, your wines are safe in the bottle. In BottleHouse, not the BottleHouse. We are BottleHouse.
These wines are protected, and I'm cold.
It's chilly.
I love it.
My digits are always cold when I work here during the day.
So I almost want to say, I use this term a lot, but I almost want to say this wine is somewhat value priced from a wine from this area. We're talking about some of the most expensive real estate in the world. Napa wines are getting really, really, really expensive. In fact, even Nyers Cabernets, their single vineyard stuff can cost you $80, $90, $100 a bottle. This is sort of one of their value blends.
Yeah, this one's coming just under $40.
Less than $40 a bottle, which is getting more and more unheard of for Napa, particularly with the cost of real estate there, and the fact that landslides, floods, earthquakes, fires, riots.
I
mean, California's is more dangerous than Australia now. There's always something bad happening. But
not in this vineyard.
One thing they continue to do is make really good wine. Unfortunately, the prices keep going up. But this wine generally,
the oak
comes
is
in
incredibly well integrated in here.
I think
it's got beautiful.
And again, another wine that I think can spend some time in bottle. But this is drinking perfect now.
Yeah.
But I think
another 5-7 years, and I think this wine is
really
going to
interesting.
be just absolutely singing.
Absolutely.
I think next to the Orme de Pez are really interesting because this is, to me, profoundly new world. Profoundly new world.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't think
call this Bordeaux blind at all. I mean,
no.
That being said, you could probably give it to me blind tomorrow, and I'd be like, "Oh, it's Bordeaux."
Yeah,
but coming
in riper vintages, sometimes Bordeaux can sometimes be very representative.
Sure, we've definitely come across
coming
before.
Coming after that Lormes, this is just so new worldy, ripe fruit, big forward, brashy, frat boy kind of, not in a bad way, but just
frat boy. It's a frat boy wine.
Frat boy wine. Yeah, well, because it reminds me of some kind of big, dumb, clumsy frat boy in the room. You know?
We just lost all of our frat boy members. Our frat boy membership just plummeted.
Yep, just canceled us.
Flat top of a Budweiser in his hand. But it's still, that being said, I like it. I'm not criticizing the wine in the least. I think it's delicious. It's just an interesting juxtaposition from the elegance of the Lorme to me. But I'm a Francophile, so there you go.
These are 6 good wines. 6 really good wines.
These are solid.
Membership of the Clubhouse. If you want to pick up your wines here in store, it's $145 a month, and it's going to really over-deliver. You're going to get a lot more wine than you normally would. If you want them shipped, we'll ship anywhere in the country, $160. As of right now, there is no option to sign up on our website, so give us a call at 434-218-1881. That's 434-218-1881 if you want to join the club. We're happy to arrange shipment all over the country for you. But again, every Thursday, we have free wine tastings in the store, but the first Thursday of every month will be our Wine Club wine tasting. We're going to be tasting this lineup today with our Wine Club members and the general public. These wines will be available to buy a la carte by the general public, or we encourage them to sign up for
and get those discounts. Absolutely.
Get those discounts. And that's one of the things we're about, is offering real value to our customers, to our members. We want to be the wine shop that you trust.
Yep.
And we're really happy to be doing this.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah.
I don't think we have anything else, do we?
I don't know if they actually joined us. We're not live, but
hey,
come
check us
enjoy
out.
the show.
www.bottlehouse.net, located in Charlottesville, Virginia at 608 West Main Street. Give us a call at 434-218-1881. Cheers.
With an empty glass.
With an empty glass.
It's because the wines were so good.